Alright, welcome YouTube. This is deitydax here with an HTML tutorial. I'm just going to show you guys some of the basic stuff that I know, and I'll try to teach you as much as I can. Alright, first you start out with the basic HTML tag. That's how you start every document. Then you move on to the head tag. That's basically all the detail stuff that isn't really seen by the users. The only thing really in here you see is the title. You start with the title tag. And we'll just call this sampleweb.com. Alright, and then you finish off the tag with the slash in front of the way the tag started. So here you got that's what it's going to display at the top of the browser or at the top of the tab. Alright, so the next thing you're going to do is, you could add in comments, but I don't mess around with that, so you just end the head tag. You could also put in JavaScript inside the head tag. That's also another thing you put in there. JavaScript just adds all kinds of functionality to the site, and it does really cool things. I might actually end up making a JavaScript video. Alright, so then you go on to the body tag. This is basically everything that the user is going to see when they look at your page. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end the body tag so that I don't forget it later. Alright, the first visual tag I'm going to teach you is the heading tag. You just put in H and then any number 1 through 6, and that'll correspond to a different size, with 1 being the biggest, 6 is the smallest. And then you can just put in whatever you want and it'll put in a heading. Alright, so the next one I'm going to show you is the paragraph tag. It's just a P and the little carrots. And then you just type in, you can type in a sentence, a paragraph, a mini book, just whatever you want to type. And then you just finish it off like the other tags with the dash and then the P. Alright, another really cool thing in HTML is the ordered list and unordered list. The ordered list is a numbering system. It's like 1 through whatever you want to put. So to start, the first list item, the LI, that's going to start out at 1, and then the second one on the list is going to be 2. In an unordered list, I'll show you later, it's just regular bullets. Alright, so you just, for every bullet or number, you just put in the LI, and then whatever you want that bullet to say, and then you end the list item tag, and then you end the ordered list tag whenever you get done putting in the bullets. Pretty much that's that. Another thing you can do in HTML that every HTML page has to have is links. So I'm going to add in a link to Google. Everybody loves Google. Why not? It's amazing. Alright, so you start off with the A, ref. I really don't know what it stands for. The A is supposed to stand for absolute. And then reference, I guess REF is reference, but I have no idea what the H is for. Alright, so then you type in the full web address of Google. And then after the href tag, you gotta finish off the tag, what you want the link to say. The viewer sees a single word most of the time, and it's got an underline, the blue underline and all that. So then you finish off the link with the finish off the A. That's how it started. Alright, we're just gonna save this here. Save it as test page. And you gotta remember to put the .html. Otherwise, you're just gonna save it as a regular text document. and then it won't show up in Firefox the way it's supposed to. So you gotta save it .html, whatever you got your name as. Alright, so I'm just gonna open up Firefox so you can see the simple page that we've made. Look at all my different links here, all the files I've got and whatnot. You just glimpsed a couple of the YouTube videos we've already got on the channel. Alright, so there you go. You've got your heading. You've got the title at the top of the web browser and the top of the tab. And you got your heading, sample sentence, the bullets that we put in, the link. As you can see, it's underlined. It just says Google. I mean, yeah, that's... Now we've got to really kind of fancy it up. Alright, so the link works. Now we're just got to kind of make the page a little bit nicer to look at, I guess I should say. To do that, you just gotta go inside the body tag, add in style, and then whatever you want as the style. Like, style is anything to do with color or font style or font color, background. Alright, so I just put in a simple background color style. So that's background dash color and then the colon red. You put all that in quotes. To add on another style, you can put a semicolon, and then, like, to change the font color, you just type in the word color. So I'm just going to change it to white so you guys can see it. Alright, as you can see, it changed the entire thing to white. And all it took was 2 words to change everything on the page to a white. Well, except for the link, but that's always blue. Alright, so another thing you can do is you can add style if you don't want to change. If you put it in the body tag, it's going to change the style of every word or sentence on the page. But if you only want to add it to like a certain one, you can just put it like in the paragraph tag that I did there. And that's just going to change the font color of just the sample sentence we put in. And the heading one and the bullet list are completely unaffected. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to put in a background color on just a regular old word. Alright, as you can see, I took it out of the body and I added into the bullet. So now the background of the text on the bullet is red. Everything else is completely unaffected. So like if you just want like your ordered list to just have that, I mean, you could put it in there. Alright, so now that you've seen all that, the change in the style, I'm going to show you guys the unordered list. It's basically the same as the ordered list, except it's got bullets. See there? I mean, sometimes it's nice to have the ordered list with the numbers, but most of the time bullet points are the choice of pretty much everybody. I mean, I'd rather look at bullets than numbers unless it's like a step-by-step thing, like step 1, step 2, but other than that, I mean, bullets work great. Alright, I really don't know the code for table. I mean, there's a couple things inside it to determine, like, put in a column and a row. I'm just going to see if this will run. Just put in the word table. Because not off the top of my head, can't remember. I had to look it up when I put together my site. This is probably just gonna, yep, it just put in some random letters. Nothing fancy. But I mean, when you do put it in, it's kind of like in math, the XY chart. It's got certain rows and columns and all that. It works pretty well. Alright, so that's pretty much all that. I guess I could show you different headings. Yeah. Alright, so this is going to be a heading 2. It's going to, see, slightly shrunk it. And like I said before, those go 1 through 6. So 1 is the biggest, 6 is the smallest. Anything bigger than 6 is just going to like go default to 6. It won't go any smaller than that. Now on the font size for the regular words, you can pretty much go as high as you want on that. So like I'm just gonna put in, I don't know, like 20. Yeah, we'll go with 20. It's a decent number. Let's just see how much it changes this. Alright, got size got a little bit bigger. I mean, you could like make as big as you want, like 100. I mean, you can make it gigantic if you really want to. I mean, if you really want to get somebody's attention on your page, I mean, that'll kind of jump out at them. 100-point font. I'm gonna lower the font of the actual notepad because I can barely see it right now. 12:30. What is it, 12:36 in the morning right now? Yeah, it's pretty. It's getting kind of late. My eyes are not working properly. Maybe not the best time to do an HTML tutorial, but hey, it works. Now I can see everything, like got my lists, my link. My tables still don't work, but yeah. I'll probably look that up and get back to it in another video. Like if I do a video on JavaScript, the table will fit in just fine with that. Because I've got a login thing that uses tables. You have to use JavaScript for a login system. Well, actually, you can use more advanced things like oh, what's it called? Ajax, I think. Yeah. All kinds of different programming languages you could use, but you can make a really basic one. I mean, it's not up to any standards encrypted or anything, but that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put in a picture. So you start off with img src, that's image source. That's telling where to find the picture at. So as long as the picture is in the same place as the HTML file, you just type in the name of the file. You gotta remember, if it's like whatever type of file it is, like GIF or JPEG, you gotta remember to type in the name of the file dot whatever extension it is. I mean, if you didn't want to put the HTML file and the picture file in the same place, I mean, you just tell the HTML file where to find the picture. So basically, like if this one right here, the HTML document is on the desktop. So if you wanted to find the picture that was in a folder on the desktop, I mean, you would just type in the name of the folder and then that. Alright, so another thing you can do is like bolding and italics. You can just put the B and the B tag and then an I. And then we'll say after the E, put in an in the I tag. So it's going to bold the entire word sample and then italic the last half of the word. Alright, so as you can see, it's got the entire word sample bolded. It's got the last 3 letters italicized and bolded. Bold italics. So yeah, that's handy sometimes. I mean, also there's an underline. That's a U. Basically all the things on Microsoft Word the B, I, and U, those still apply here. Alright, what else do I want to... Oh, yeah. So as you can see, the heading changed. I mean, you can put whatever you want in the heading. It'll just put it in the heading size, and then bold and italicize it. Oh, it's getting late. Yeah, I'm getting a wee bit tired. Alright, so another thing you can do, you could like set an image as like a banner image. Like most sites do, they've got a picture with their website name on it across the top. It's usually a big old long picture that's not very tall. Alright, so what you can just get a picture. I mean, this one's gonna look kind of crappy since it's kind of tall, but you can just set the width to 100%, and that'll put it to fill up the entire screen all the way across. As you can see, it goes all the way from side to side. Alright, and then if you want to change the height of it, I mean, you could do something kind of small, like, I'm going to do 10% to show you. And that's just going to take up 10% of the visible screen. You can also do it in pixels. Just type in, like, 100 pixels. I mean, it's harder to get an exact measurement on that, but sometimes you have to put in pixels, because when you get into JavaScript, and sometimes it gets real picky, and it's best to just put in pixels. Alright, so I'm just going to make this a little taller so it's not as squished. It'll still have about the same, yeah, banner. Alright, so that's filling up 30% of the visible screen up there. It's like when you're scrolled all the way up, it takes 30% of the scroll view. Alright, one really cool thing, like, I love how it has its own tags, the center tag. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. That just centers up anything that you put inside that tag. Like, I could put my entire page inside that, and everything on the page would be in the center. As you can see, I put my link in the center. It's really good for, like, at the bottom of most sites, you see a little, like, navigation type thing at the bottom. It's got, like, home, contact us, all that kind of stuff. They center it down there in, like, a small font with links. Alright, so there I just centered my sample sentence using the align. I mean, you can change the align to whatever you really want. Like, we could align it to the right-hand side. I mean, unless you're going to do it to the right-hand side, there's really no point in putting an align center. Because, I mean, there's a center tag. It's a lot faster. But some people prefer to do the align and then put it in center. You never really want to do align left, because that's kind of the default. So you'd be kind of wasting your time. I mean, maybe in some weird circumstance that might be, but most of the time it'll be automatically aligned to the left. Yeah, it's getting kind of late. Let's see now what do I want to do now? Well, I could always show you how to make a picture into a link. Alright, so basically what you gotta do, you can just take your picture, the image source, and put it inside the name, whatever you want to display. Like I told you, just type in Google, and it says Google on the page. Well, if you type in a picture, the picture will turn into a link. See? And then you just click anywhere on the picture, and it'll take you to the website that you link to. That's a pretty handy tool. I set up an entire website. The entire menu is all JPEGs, and they all have like a different type words on them. So they link throughout my entire site. I mean, that way I don't have to just put in all kinds of... Well, I still have to put in links, but my links look cooler. Yep. Alright, well, it's getting pretty late, so I'm gonna sign off here, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment, subscribe, like, and I'll be making more videos soon.